Hello, and welcome to Part in the Integration Gain Cloud Confidence with HPE, where we discuss top trends in the channel today. I'm your host, Katie Bavoso from the Channel Company. The amount of data created, captured, copied, and consumed globally on an annual basis has quadrupled in the last 5 years and is expected to more than double over the next 5. This is driving global end user spending on cloud adoption to skyrocket, and it will expand to more than 45% of all IT enterprise spending by 2026. You need a cloud solution built for your business and workloads to stay competitive. That's what I'll be discussing today with my guest, Andy Johnson, Director of Enterprise Solutions at Milestone Technologies, an HPE Gold partner. The way the podcast works is we have 3 topics with 3 minutes to talk about each. So let's get started with topic 1, the drive for innovation. Andy, first of all, thank you so much for being here and making time for us today. I'm excited to learn from you. My first question is, what are your customers' IT goals and pain points?
Thanks, Katie. I appreciate the time today to review this because it's an important issue. A lot of our customers, their main goal and pain points right now is cloud adoption. They're being driven by their supervisors to come up with better ways to do business, to simplify operations, and even to make deployment much easier for them. And some of the pain points they have are unpredictable data growth is a big one. The common over provisioning, so just over buying product to last them for 5 years or so. And they're having to do more with limited budgets. So they're trying to figure out better ways to protect the money that they have and come up with creative financing, so to speak, to solve their business objectives.
Absolutely. Sounds very familiar, Andy. What are your customers looking for from you to help them innovate and transform their businesses?
Customers are asking us to help them innovate and transform their business by listening to their pain points and coming up with different ways to solve their problems, helping to reduce costs, increase security, limiting their exposure to threats. And it's really a partnership that we have with them to understand the issues that they're experiencing, evaluating their workloads, and helping them drive a better solution than what they have been doing in the past.
So, Andy, with all of that in mind, how does your partnership with HPE allow you to better serve your customers?
So I would say, first of all, the alignment that we as a partner have with the HPE account team, that is critical because we're all in alignment with the solutions and the broad solutions that HP brings to the table. And it creates a trust and a dedication among the team that enables us to kind of be better together. One of the biggest values that HPE has is the breadth of the product options. So we don't position just one solution and expect that to fit all customer workloads. We can customize it because of the variety of options that HP has in their product portfolio. And it really gives us a key advantage over many other competitors. Regarding the partnership, HP's direction is an all cloud solution. I mean, that's on their roadmap. They've been doing this for many years under different names, like Flex Capacity. And the value that HP has is with this GreenLake solution. It's innovative. It addresses all the customers' key pain points, usually, moving CapEx to OpEx, being able to scale up and down the entire solution, and moving to a pay-per-use model. So it eliminates this whole over-provisioning issue that customers are plagued with, especially in public sector.
Andy, that brings us into our next segment, topic 2, get to know HPE GreenLake. So tell me, what is HPE GreenLake and how can your customers leverage this solution to create better business outcomes?
Well, first of all, customers are looking at cloud because of the economics for simplicity and overall management. And GreenLink is a private cloud consumption model where customers pay only for what they use. So the over-provisioning really goes away. It's the same hardware as a CapEx model. So servers, storage, networking, even software and services are wrapped into it. One of the key features is a built-in variable capacity, or sometimes we call it like a buffer. So we actually land a little bit more capacity, whether it's compute or storage, on site at the customer's facility. That's available for them to use, but they're not having to pay for it ahead of time. Some of the other advantages, it's billed monthly. There's no ingress, egress costs. It's a predictable cost model. It's really an entire package solution for the customer to take advantage of.
How does GreenLake speed up time to value and give more time back to customers to focus on other business needs? Because, of course, they can't all put their energy into one basket.
What's interesting about this is it really helps to eliminate procurement cycles. Uh, from the time that you typically get a quote in front of the customer, it could be months, sometimes even a year later before they actually get approval for budgeting. So once GreenLink is set up for them, it's really easy to grow because it creates a foundation for them to build on. Predictable billing is another key feature, immediate use of additional capacity, and also a centralized console that allows them to manage both private and public cloud capabilities. That's all offered by HPE, and that's actually a unique offering that HPE brings to the table in this solution.
How does GreenLake provide a better end user experience for your customers?
So GreenLink allows the customer to focus on their business needs and being able to service their internal customers. So it allows them to be a little bit more proactive instead of having to be reactive all the time. There's a high level of services that are bundled into GreenLake. So they have a dedicated team that kind of goes along with them on this journey of trying to solve their business objectives. And then I mentioned the centralized console earlier, GreenLake Central, and that allows them to manage everything within one single pane of glass. So it gives them instant access to performance, compliance, costs for public and private cloud, and being able to compare and choose the right provider based on what their workload dictates.
That brings us into our final topic, Andy. Topic 3, a flexible cloud platform. First question, what financial flexibility does GreenLink provide your customers, and why is this a critical factor for them? You started to touch on that with flexible billing earlier. Build on that for me.
Customers tend to overbuy. So they take what they need today and they look out what they're going to need 5 years from now, and they really overspend. So there's a high cost for unused capacity. And usually they don't really quite get it right. So what we do is we come in, evaluate their workloads, and come up with a minimum configuration of what they're actually using today, and then base everything on that. One of our customers said we're one disaster away from explosive growth. So they can't predict what they're going to need now, but now that we have a seat at the table with them, we can actually help them scale very quickly when they need to. It also is very helpful for them to budget for future years. It's a predictable cost model. And they can also now give real costs to their internal customers about what a new project is going to cost them. So if they need a certain number of virtual machines or a certain amount of capacity, they know exactly what that cost is going to be, and they can give that to them. And that's a huge win for GreenLake, because customers can actually budget easily to plan for the future.
You said 2 key things there, unpredictability and scalability, and that's a huge, huge factor in this decision for your customers. So how scalable is HPE GreenLake for different sized businesses and workloads?
It's not a one size fits all. So every customer is unique. Some customers start very small, some are pretty complex. And the cool thing with the diverse product suite that HPE has is we can completely customize it based on that. Whether it's compute, storage, networking, or software. So we can customize the products to the specific workload. One of the things that customers say is, I need an all-flash array, and it's a high cost. So what we can do is take a look at their workloads, look what they're actually using, and say, you know what, maybe a hybrid array can be better for you. It's cheaper. It meets all your business, objectives and the performance levels. You really don't need all flash. You wouldn't be able to take advantage of it. So let's refocus and figure out what you actually need. So the other thing is being able to scale. We size everything out to scale, whether it's compute, any of the product lines that we can work with can really help scale them for growth.
My last question in this interview today, Andy, do your customers need to manage GreenLake themselves, or can Milestone manage it for them?
Either way, a lot of our customers like to do their own configuration and setup, especially larger organizations. So we can tailor it based on what they actually need. And the cool thing is, with the GreenLake management services, we can kind of really narrow down what they need help with and what they want to do themselves. And we can really go from one end to the other. We have full migration services that are available that we can include moving from third-party hardware to the GreenLink platform. We can also integrate with colo facilities for full white glove support and take everything off of their hands. It's pretty easy to navigate.
Andy, thank you so much for your time today. And of course, thank you at home for joining us. But before we go, I'd like to list my top takeaways from today's discussion. 1. Cloud adoption could be your answer to better business outcomes, but you don't need to go over budget or buy more than you need in an attempt to future-proof your business. 2. GreenLake offers a predictable pay-per-use billing model that allows you to pay only for what you need with the ability to scale as your needs change. And 3, manage your operations with GreenLake through a single pane of glass, or offload those responsibilities to an HPE MSP partner like Milestone Technologies. Again, thank you for watching or listening to this episode of Part of the Integration Gain Cloud Confidence with HPE. Stay tuned. We'll continue our conversation with Andy Johnson in the future. I'm Katie Bavoso, and I'll see you next time.